Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to be resetting for the month of September. So we're going to talk about how the month of August went on all fronts, and we're going to prep for the month of September. As always, I have already done a dedicated September budget video where I'm setting up our September budget, which is very elaborate. And I've also done a dedicated September plan with me video where I set up my planner for the month of September. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. Disclaimer though, August was my least favorite month out of the whole year. Plus I had my least favorite week and days from the whole year in the month of August. So we're gonna go ahead though and start with just taking a deep dive into the month of August. And we're gonna start with talking about our August budget and goals and our August finances. So first of all, we had a goal that we would follow up with our financial advisor, which we did not do. I keep talking about this month after month, but essentially we need to follow up with our financial advisor, which I guess by the time that we stop procrastinating, it'll probably be around the time that we always follow up with him. So I don't know, this might be something that we procrastinate on until the end of the year, which is when we meet with him anyway. I wanted to pay for my clinical exam, which I did not do. We wanted to save $2,000, which we technically will do. We wanted to invest 15% of our paychecks, which we did, pay our monthly credit card bill, which we did, register our truck, which we did not do, add our truck to our auto insurance, which we did not do, save $230 for our sinking funds, which we did do, buy party supplies for the party that we hosted in August for my mother-in-law. We did do that. Sign up for BarkBox for my dog. We did not do that. Buy my mother-in-law and aunt cards for their birthday. Obviously, we held or hosted an entire party, so that was their gift, because it definitely wasn't a walk in the park, super inexpensive or anything, but I did want to give them cards, so we did do that. I wanted to research some birthday gifts for my husband. I did do that, but I honestly haven't landed on one, so he probably isn't going to get a gift from me, which is no surprise because we don't really exchange gifts. But sometimes I do like to just look up gifts to see if there's anything that I might want to give to him. And to be honest, I'm the person, I need a little help with gifts. So he doesn't ever want anything. He doesn't buy anything. He doesn't spend money. So therefore, I was thinking about getting him something. But okay, so he will get something, but it's going to be like an experience, which the other gift kind of was an experience too. But it was definitely something that the thing that he is going to get is far less expensive, and he's going to like that far more than the other gift. Plus it's something we can do together, which kind of makes it not really a gift just for him, but I did have something in mind as far as just giving it as a gift to him. But I think I may do it, I think I may wait until I'll have to wait. I'm not trying to give out too much information, obviously, because it's a gift idea. And then I wanted to buy my dog a birthday gift, which we got her a few things, some treats and a toy. She hates the toy, but kind of likes it, but not really. So there was that. So let's talk about where our money went. So we wanted to send, well, we don't want to do none of this stuff, but we were set up to send $59 towards our gym membership for the both of us, and we did do that. We budgeted $131 for my husband's phone, and the bill came in at $130.77, so we're actually under a few bucks. Our car payment was as budgeted at $314.34. We have 3 vehicles, one vehicle with a auto loan, with a loan. And honestly, we'll have to do like a little financial reset to kind of talk about what our plans are moving forward. But our car loan is now technically the cheapest debt that we have, because it's now less than my husband's student loan. So I don't know what do with that information what you will, but I was just thinking about that the other day, because the loans have been in a forbearance, and so because of all of that, our car loan, we owe less on our car loan now, and my wheels are turning. Anyway, for electricity, we budgeted $338.40, and that was what that was. Electricity in Georgia is just, I mean, it just is what it is. There's no way around it. The cool thing is in the cooler months that our bill is less, like $70, $80 to $90. But right now it's just a hot mess and we just kind of have to deal with it. People bring up budget billing, but as far as I'm concerned, like, it's not like you get a discount with budget billing. You still have to pay what you have to pay. It just means that you don't have to guess or wait for the bill to come in because you already know what the bill is going to be. So, you know, they might say our bill each month is, I'm sure they will say, going to be somewhere like $200 per month. Well, it's not like you're paying less. You still got to pay the amount that you have to pay, because what would America be if that were not the case? So I don't do budget billing. I mean, the bill comes in, we pay it. That's just how we do. But people do bring up that, which makes sense because the bill does fluctuate, but we got to pay it either way. We got to pay the people. Georgia Power wants their money either way, whether I'm paying it up front and giving them more money than what I technically have to, because that's really what that would come down to, especially in the cooler months. I'd just be giving them money that I would otherwise give to them throughout the summer. For cable, we budgeted $40. Cable, which is through Sling TV, was $40. Budgeted $50.60 for pest control, and that's how much that was. We budgeted $80.30 for internet, and our internet was as budgeted. We budgeted $1,611.23 for our mortgage, and that's what that was. Water/sewer was $108.66. Amazon Music $15.99, and it's going up to $16.99 in September. And I'm annoyed, and I say every month that Jeff needs to count his days, because I just refuse to believe that, first of all, there are like millions and millions of people with Amazon Music, and I just refuse to believe that going up $1 is really going to offset any of the costs, considering I just don't understand the point of it. So it kind of makes me annoyed, but then I think about life without Amazon Music, and I can't think of a life without Amazon Music. It would be such a bore. Well, we'd have to like figure out something else, but you know, another streaming service, but we love Amazon Music. For security, we budgeted $52.14. That's what it is. We budgeted $42.19 for life insurance for the both of us. That's what it was. Pet, $61.05 for her wellness plan. That's what it was. $9.99 for Netflix. Shopping, we budgeted $1,276.61, and we were over by $1,260.11, which means that in total for shopping for August, we spent a whopping $2,536.72, which is wild. But honestly, I don't even have any words. I really truly don't believe our spending habits have changed, but I can say in August we had a lot of expenses, and I do have to let you know that the only reason why we make it out alive each month is because right now we're not doing additional investing to retirement. Plus, we only budget based off of like the bare minimum amount of money that we will earn rather than the amount that actually comes in. And so, as I mentioned before, August was a good month for brand deals. September will be too, in brand payments and payouts. So we kind of just take money from ourselves to be able to afford this lifestyle. And yeah, I don't have any words, except I feel a money rant coming on because I have some things that I want to share. I have some thoughts. So for investing, we wanted to stash away $80, and we did do that, which was $20 every Friday. We wanted to put $2 to $8.50 towards sinking funds rather than $3 to $30. But I just rounded it to $2.30 in the goals list, but it was technically $2 to $8.50. So we did add that money to our savings account. And then we technically won't know what we've saved just yet because my husband gets paid on the last day of the month. And I think I know what his payday is going to be, but I'm not quite sure that it's going to be the same as the previous one because he coaches now and he gets supplements and all that for that. So my assumption is that it will be more than that other paycheck, but we don't really know. But anyway, that is where our money went for the month of August. Now let's talk about my August personal goals. Okay, so for personal, I wanted to take one day. And so I kind of, if there's not one day I can take for a personal day, which is really a day of me putting myself first. If I don't get an actual full day, then I take 2 half days, or I try to do 2 half days. And so that was the case for August. I got a half day in on August 18th and August 24th, and that makes up my personal day. I wanted to read 2 books, which technically I did do, because while I did start a book back in July, I finished it in the month of August. And I also read another book in the month of August. I started and finished it. So talking about books, we can talk about those here, and then I'll talk about the books I want to read when we get to the September goals. But I started in July, Atlas of the Heart, and then I finished it in August, and I gave it a 3-star rating. It was pretty much, to my understanding, like a compilation of all of her other books. And so I don't know, it was just like a bunch of random facts, which is okay by me because I'm a facts girly, but I definitely feel like a lot of it was the same information I got in the previous book. And she even said a lot as I was reading the book and as she was writing the book that she had pulled into Atlas of the Heart a lot of excerpts from the other books. And so, you know, that's just my thought about it. But I also finished and started Kingmaker by Kennedy Ryan. And so you can kind of probably tell by now which books I aim to read and enjoy reading, and the books that my friend has me reading. So, of course, Kennedy Ryan is one of her favorite authors. And so she recommended that if I am going to read some books from her favorite author, I start with her favorite, The Kingmaker, and then follow it up with the second book, which is Rebel King. And so I read Kingmaker. I definitely rated like a 4.5 out of 5 stars easily. I am absolutely obsessed with Maxim. I love a man who knows what he wants, who's consistent and persistent and adamant and smart and goal oriented and all the things. And so I'm kind of obsessed with Maxim. So there's that. But I love the book. And so in August, or in September, you can only imagine what book I'm going to read. So we will talk more about those books that I'm planning to read in September momentarily, but those were the 2 books that I technically read. So it's kind of like I started and finished one, and then I finished one in the month of August. So for self-care, I wanted to get my hair done. I wanted to do my nails, which I did do, and I wanted to schedule my OBGYN appointment, and I didn't, so there's that. Now, I will say, I think I gotta go ahead and go. I can't keep putting this off because technically by now I haven't gone in 2 years, and one thing you should know about me, I don't miss a medical appointment. However, my new insurance does not cover my annual, and so I think I may be able to get my primary care physician to do it, but I really just love my OBGYN. So we'll see, but I mean, I guess I could have her do it, but like, I loved the doctor who I'd been going to for years. Loved her. I probably like her a little bit more too, because she had her children at like 40 or something. And so I just love that. I just love everything about that. So anyway, they want me to pay $300+ for an annual, and to me that is insane. So it's kind of like, do I want to spend $300 with someone who I love, or just go to my primary care physician who is her and have her do it? Whatever, I'll figure it out. Next up, for home projects, I wanted to purchase a hammock, which I didn't do, mainly because it was too hot and I would not be able to enjoy it of the day or of the evening. And plus, I think my friend's going to get me it for my birthday. So we can kind of cancel that from there. I wanted to touch up the paint, which I did do. Organize drawers in our home. For whatever reason, I want to organize all of them. So far I have organized like 3 of the like 20 or whatever. So I'm on track, but it's definitely no easy feat. We wanted to problem solve our carpet shampooer, which we didn't do. My husband did pressure wash this house, like ate that up. Like, I'm amazed at how good the house looks. We have our own pressure washer and we finally busted it out before our family day, and it's amazing. It looks amazing. And then we wanted to repair our patio ceiling, which we didn't do. So I am going to say that I didn't meet those goals, because if I would have met half of them, I would count them as achieved, but I didn't. For saving $2,000, technically we are going to achieve that goal, like I mentioned, because we are going to save $2,000, but we're, you know, without spending as much as we spent, we would have been able to more easily save the $2,000 without relying on brand income and all that. But that's how the dice rolled for the month of August. We did invest $80 via Stash and 15% of our paychecks for relationships. We wanted to host our friends and family, which we did. We had my mother-in-law's and my aunt's joint birthday party here in August, at the beginning of August. I wanted to schedule friend dates, which I did do. Finalize my cousin's trip, or our cousin's trip, which I did do. And catch up with a friend, which I actually did all of those things. So that's achieved. For career, I've kind of taken a few steps towards meeting these goals, but I didn't come close to it because, well, August wasn't the greatest month. So if there ever were a month I could have, you know, I could rightfully chalk up as having not met my goals, August would be the month to do it. I wanted to secure one sponsorship, and I did two. So you guys would have seen a sponsor video by now from Mint Mobile and from Revenued in the month of August. So I achieved that goal. I wanted to publish 8 YouTube videos. I did do that, and I did not publish 4 reels. I try to do 1 per week. I think I did 2 in August, whatever. And health, I wanted to work out 3 times per week, and I definitely did not do that. So before we talk about September, let's kind of recap the month of August, talk about what my highs were, what my lows were, what I enjoyed about August, what I didn't enjoy about August, all of that. Okay, so for highs, when I think of highs, I think of the moments in life in any given month where I'm like, you know what, this is what life is about. Like, God placed me here to enjoy fill in the blank. And one of those things was the dual party family day. So not only was it a dual party, but because of that, my mother-in-law had some of her family friends here. My aunt has some of her family friends here, or friends, I guess. I mean, if they're friends and they're around all the time, I feel like that's a family friend, you know? And then what else? Oh, then we had other family members, like one of their other sisters was here. And then our cousins were here with their kids. They spent the night with us. Actually, they are the couple that introduced us. Not because they were trying to hook us up, but because after we met, my husband was obsessed. And so here we are 11 years later. Other people were here. It was so fun. It was the largest party we've ever had at our house. There were, like, at any point, I think maybe like 35 to 40 people. It was insane, but it was definitely what life is all about. Let's see here. Oh, I went to a planner meetup in August. That was fun. I was with my peoples. I love planning, obviously. So that was a high moment. And then, because I haven't been to a planner meetup probably in like 2 months. So that's a long time for me. And then also I had a pool day with my coworker. So you got to understand, my coworker, I'm going to start calling her that, my coworker. My coworker has the fun house. So she has a husband, 2 dogs, and a teenage child. And so that's her life, you know. But aside from that, which I think this is kind of what contributes to her house being the fun, cool house, is because, and she's also very much a social butterfly, but she has an in-ground pool. She has a jacuzzi. She has like this nice like deck. She just basically has fun stuff at her house. And so I'd gone there before for a party just in July, and then we had went to a training and ran some work errands the other day, just last week. And she was like, bring your bathing suit just in case, you know, we have time afterwards to take a dip, hang out, whatever. And so I finally took her up on her offer to have some cocktails after work, because she's always like, if you want to grab cocktails after work, I'm your girl. And I'm like, girl, when I get home, you know, like, we're gonna have to work this out sooner rather than later, because, you know, we're gonna have to have cocktails after work at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock, because otherwise, once I get home, your girl's not coming back out. So finally, we're able to hang out. We were in the pool. I was hanging out with her, her dogs, her son, he was in the pool too. The dogs didn't swim. They just were out and about a little bit. And then we got in the jacuzzi. It was life. It was life. And I was like, you know, if you want to take off on my birthday, because I'm taking off my birthday from work, of course, and we spend the day at your house, let me know. Basically, I'm trying to be at your house on my birthday because it's the fun house. Anyway, those are my highs, my lows, you guys. So the whole like 3 weeks out of August, I hated it. First of all, I had back pain or a sprain or a strain. I have done this in my back before, but the issue with this time is that I like injured it further by doing something that I wasn't supposed to do. Whenever I injured it, like I double injured my back. And so I was in so much, like it was terrible. It was horrific. So that meant that I could not work out how I wanted to. I could not work out at all for like 2 weeks. I could not go on walks, go to the gym. I couldn't do the things I wanted to do. I was highly aggravated for a number of reasons, that being one of the reasons. I just felt like I just couldn't do anything and I was bound to the house. And so I was annoyed. And that lasted for like 3 weeks. And like I said, I was discombobulated and out of sorts for at least 3/4 of the month. Now, here's what I have to say. If you're going through a tough time, do know that on the other side of it, once you come out of that, because I'm out of that now, and I just kind of think back, and I remember vividly being in those moments during those days and those weeks, and I was like so aggravated and everything was aggravating me. Like, I remember that vividly. However, it's almost as if it's insignificant now because I don't live in that right now. Now I'm living in, fun times and abundance and this and that, and I can work out and I can do all these different things and my back doesn't hurt. So I just remember being in those moments, but definitely it's beautiful, I guess is what I'm trying to say, on the other side of it, and being able to go back to my regular life and do the things that I've been longing to do. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are going through a tough time, on the other side of it is like bliss compared to that. Now, life ain't peachy, let's not get it twisted, but it's not as annoying as it was during those weeks. I would say the first 3 weeks were kind of annoying, but I think that last week was super annoying. And I think the week before that, it was like kind of not as annoying. And then the week before that, it was super annoying. So it was a lot that made up that time. I can't even, I'm on the other side of it. So I can't even remember all the details, but it was definitely not fun. So let's talk about some lessons that I learned. One lesson that I learned was the positive effect of gratitude. And make no mistake, as the month goes on, I kind of fill in this information kind of like a journal, sort of, just reflecting on each week. And I don't really remember why I wrote down the positive effects of gratitude, but I think that I wrote it down, if I had to guess, because when I was doing the whole woe is me pity party, I hate life, I'm fed up type of thing, I remember I just was more grateful for the things, simple things, which I do keep a list of gratitude every day. Every day I write down something I'm grateful for, but I just remember writing down being grateful for not having back pain or, that type of stuff. So there's that. I also learned a lot about the 4 horsemen, and I learned about that. I kind of already knew about it because of what I do, and I learned about it in premarital counseling, but it really came up for me in the Atlas of the Heart book. And the 4 horsemen include criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. And a lot of times people talk about those in the context of relationships and marriages and stuff like that. And if any of those horsemen show up in the relationship or in the marriage, that is grounds for finding out some ways to kind of work through whatever that is, working through criticism or contempt, so on and so forth. So I paid a lot of attention to the four horsemen in the month of August. And then what else did I learn about? Another thing that I learned about was fencing. So we are in the process of getting a fence. And so we're in the process of getting quotes, but I think we need to get the fence. And I guess anytime I'm getting a quote or an estimate or just, that type of thing, I feel like I really take that as an opportunity to just take in all of the information. And so I basically probably know now more about fencing than the average human. I am 100% a lifelong learner, and I just feel like I know a lot about fencing now, so I love that for me. Also, I recently went to a mental health first aid training, and I've attended a training before, but it was so many years ago, and I'm glad to have gotten the refresher and the new certification. So I learned a lot about mental health first aid as it relates to administering it to youth. I also learned about the Not Okay app. I don't know a lot about it, but apparently it is an app that you can download and your kids or children essentially download it, and they kind of link you to it. And I guess I don't know all the ins and outs of it because I didn't download it just yet, but I think that the purpose is that the kids can kind of put on there if they're not okay, and it's a way to communicate that via app rather than having to go and to sit someone down, or because that could be a little overwhelming or stressful or something that they're not comfortable with doing, so on and so forth. So it's just another way to kind of aid in administering not only just mental health first aid, but just administering some help to the youth of America. I also learned to trust myself always, because I know me better than anyone else. Better than anyone else. These are the facts. I've known me for 30 years, over 30 years. And so I just know who I am. I know what I'm about. And there's really no need for me to let people try to counter that or, go up against that, because I know myself really well, which might sound a little confident, a little overly confident, might sound a little cocky, but I just know myself really well. I'm very much aware of who I am. Another thing that I learned is that I actually do not require a very intimate, deep relationship with everyone with whom I come in contact. And I don't have to give you the backstory behind that because it's really not that significant. But I was just reading the comments on this little video, and I say little video because I say that any video that's less than a minute is a TikTok. So basically a TikTok video, a short form video. And the people were joking in the video, I think, but behind every joke is probably some truth. And then people were commenting oh no, I definitely have to have deep, meaningful relationships with everyone. And I was thinking, I don't. I do not need to have a deep, meaningful relationship with everyone in my life. I have a handful of deep, intimate relationships with folks, and to me that's plenty. In fact, I would say if I had actually what I learned from first aid is that a young person having even one meaningful relationship and one supportive and caring relationship with an adult is that can be transformative when it comes to their mental health. And so basically that kind of relates to me. If I have just one intimate, deep, honest, open, vulnerable relationship with a person, just one, to me, that is satisfactory. I am blessed to have more, but everyone that I come in contact with, we don't have to work our way to having some kind of deep, meaningful relationship, because personally, it's actually kind of draining, if you ask me. If every single time I hang out with a friend or someone, and I have to have some kind of deep conversation with them or, whatever, I just don't want it. I have no need for it. And that's just the bottom line. Also, I learned a lot about Bunko, which is a game that you play at parties typically. And my coworker, I think it's a northern thing, I'm convinced, because she and all her friends pretty much are from the north, but they play it all the time. And so I learned a lot about it in August at the last Bunko party. I also learned about social anxiety. So I have to say, it's important to me to be able to understand people's plights and struggles, but most importantly, it is important for me to understand the plights and the struggles of the people with whom I relate on a more intimate, deep level, like my friends and family members. And, you know, I've always known that people struggle with anxiety and social anxiety, but it didn't really hit me until probably a year or two ago when I started to realize that there were people in my life who struggled with social anxiety. And it kind of comes up as like, I'll have a friend and they'll be like, and I'll be like, we're having a party, whatever. And they're like, well, how many people are coming? And I'm like, because to me, I wouldn't ever think to ask that question. And I'm like, oh, like they might have social anxiety, you know, and then at that point I can talk to them about it and, you know, whatever. Try to help them through it and understand them better, because maybe they just are never going to show up to a party because they have social anxiety. And to understand that, to me, it's important to me to understand why people do some of the things that they do and who they are, because that's who they are. Another time I feel like my husband, me and a friend were going to this event, and when we got there, there were a lot of people there, which my husband and I go there all the time, so we already knew. And she was like, oh my God, there's so many people, I'm just gonna stay in the car. And we're like, you know, you can't stay in the car. That's insane that you would just stay in the car while we're in the event for hours. And it's dark and stuff. So, you know, anyway, I can understand people. I feel like if I know some of the more details about their lives. So like I said, those people who are closest to me, you know, that comes in handy with the ability to understand who they are and what they're about. So let's talk about my favorites, and then we'll move on to my September goals and wrap up this video. So for beauty, one of my favorite things was watching the relaxed hair girlies on YouTube, relaxing their hair and doing so. So first of all, folks, so there's a debate about whether treating your hair chemically with any type of chemical really is causing long-term effects on the brain and all of that kind of stuff. There's debate about it because some folks are saying that that is not true and there's no grounds for that theory, and other people are saying that it is. And the moral of the story is, you know, people have to make a decision for their lives people have to people are free to do with their lives what they want. And so to be watching the relaxed hair girlies on YouTube, relaxing their hair and not caring anything about what other people think is amazing to me. Now, again, if they are going to suffer any consequences, yet they choose to do it anyway, at any rate, they're still doing what they feel like they want to do. And you know, it doesn't matter what random people on the internet technically have to say about someone's hair. And so I just love that. I just love that people are making decisions for themselves. Now, if they're making these decisions and, you know, there may be some consequences to them, to their bodies, and, you know, that could affect who they are later on down the line, because they're saying it's linked to dementia and Alzheimer's and all that. And, you know, that's a risk that they're taking, but they're taking it based on them wanting to do so, and they're not really taking into consideration what a bunch of other people who don't even really know them have to say. So that's been like my favorite beauty thing. So not quite a beauty item, but that's my favorite. I've just been loving watching relaxed hair girlies on YouTube, because I don't want my hair relaxed, but I definitely watch all sorts of different videos about different hairstyles and all that, and I just kind of came across relaxed hair YouTube, and I'm like, dang, like these people get hundreds thousands of comments saying that they shouldn't have done that, and they're like, well, you know, it's my choice or whatever. I'm like, okay, girl. My favorite tech item is GoodNotes 6. I have been loving GoodNotes 6. My favorite food item technically was a drink, which was Long Island iced teas. That was a drink we had at the party in August, and then my husband kind of sipped on them what remained for the rest of the month, and that was my that was one of my favorite things because I love them. My favorite leisure activity was hanging with new friends. I feel like I met a lot of new friends and hung with a lot of new friends in the month of August. And then my favorite activity was scrolling socials. So when my back was all jacked up, I feel like I scrolled socials a whole ton. And so that was fun for me. And then my favorite lifestyle type of thing was my Moterm cover, which is a new cover that I got for my Apple iPad mini. Let me show you guys my mood board. So August the 1st, I believe, was National Planner Day. That's me winning a prize at the planner meetup. We had our first home game at my husband's school. By we, I mean they and I went, and it's probably gonna be my last football game because it was too hot, it was too humid. This is I didn't mention this. Why did I not mention that? Well, I'll be honest, it was fun, but it really wasn't like one of my top concerts or my top experiences. Even though my best friend and his girlfriend joined us and stuff, it really wasn't that great. But we went to go see 50 Cent, Jeremiah, and Busta Rhymes at the Lakewood Amphitheater in Atlanta. I thought this was funny. I really am the multi-purpose friend. I'm down for brunch, church, aggravated assault, working out, whatever. Just let me know. So funny. The Four Horsemen stuff. Me and my friend reading out. She has a pool outside of her apartment complex or whatever, and so we were reading our books. This was the party. Some of our friends and family members taking a shot. I'm sure half of those were fake shots because, you know, some of those people are not into that type of thing. And so that was for their birthday. I hit $100,000 in revenue on YouTube in August, so I did a video all about it and all of that. So that was like a huge cool thing. I forgot my little baby went to boarding in August because I wasn't sure. So my friend and some of my cousins, my little cousins, they despise the dogs, hate them. My friend can't even see dogs. So I normally board Lady if I can. I try to avoid it though because it's really expensive, but she does like it. Anywho, this was her and the gang for the weekend. My dog laying on top of my husband, who has on this like turban thing that is mine, and he is cray. This is the Moterm cover. And then is that it? Yeah, those are kind of like some of the pictures that I was able to get from the event. As you can see, I don't really take pictures of myself or my husband or anything. So luckily, people take pictures and I can get pictures from them, because otherwise I literally never take pictures of myself or my husband. In fact, hopefully I want to take a picture of us this weekend and like make it a thing, because because we take pictures so infrequently. So I hope we get a picture this weekend with all the things that we're going to be doing. But anyway, this is my mood board for August of 2023. I've been talking a lot, y'all. Okay, let me close out this video. Okay, so let's breeze through the September goals and then we will essentially wrap up this video. So my goal for September is of course to take one personal day, which you guessed it, September the 15th, I have requested off of work. That was the day that I was born all those years ago. And I've already decided on all the things that I'm gonna do for my birthday, for my personal day. So it's gonna be a regular day, but like on steroids, because I'm probably gonna, normally my personal days don't cost that much money or any money at all. This one definitely will. I want to read 2 books. So I want to read The Rebel King, of course, which is part 2. Well, I'll be honest, I don't know that I want to read it necessarily, but I feel like I have to read it because it's the second book and I'm already in my Kennedy Ryan bag. So I have to just go ahead and read it because of how the first book ended. Like, you gotta have the second one. If you're one of those people who like absolutely need to keep reading to learn what's going on and all that, you gotta understand, I hardly watch movies through. I fall asleep, so like I'm really not a person who has to see through a book or a movie. But the way that it ended and the way that I'm obsessed with Maxim, I need to read the second book. So I think I'm gonna start on that tonight. And then also I want to read, I think by that time it will be appropriate for me to go ahead and start reading Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. I want to read that, and it's available in the Libby app for free. and there's no wait time. So I think that'll be the second book. However, I did look at my little list of books that I want to read, my TBR list, and I do have to say that there are a couple of other books on here, and I might read The Body Keeps the Score as well. By I might read, I mean I'll either read Daring Greatly or Body Keeps the Score. Can't read both of them. I don't think. That would be insane to read 3 books in 1 month. I'm sure it can be done, but I don't think it's gonna be done for your girl. For self-care, I want to get my hair done, question mark, do my nails, schedule my OBGYN, question mark, get a massage, and go to the chiropractor, question mark. For family, I want to purchase the hammock, question mark, because my friend is supposed to purchase that for me. Organize drawers, problem solve the shampooer, repair our patio ceiling. I want to reset the living room because you actually can't see, but it has like some additional tables and chairs and stuff in here, and our coffee tables are upstairs. Our area rug is upstairs because we pulled it up for the party, but then we're having our family's throwing us a birthday party next week, so there wasn't really any point, I didn't think, to reset it. So we'll have the party and then we'll reset the living room, which will be ideal because my next goal is to decorate for fall. I might do it on my personal day, on my birthday. It just kind of depends, because I will say in October, by the time October gets here in Georgia, it definitely is cool, but September, and that's when pools start to close, which I can't wait for it to be cool. But normally in September is honestly not that cool, but I just feel like by the end of September, I want to have the place decorated for fall going into October. Therefore, the decor can be up October for 2 months, and then around Thanksgiving, that's when we do Christmas and stuff like that, you know? So that's what's happening there. And then new fence, question mark, because we are getting another quote today. And honestly, it's sounding like it's gonna be like the cheapest quote. So we might be going forward with getting the fence. So we will see. For family, also we wanna save $2,000 and invest $100 via Stash and invest 15% of our paychecks. For relationships, we want to host our friends and family, which they're technically hosting us, but it'll be at our house. Schedule my friend dates, which so I have one friend, she likes to hang out like one-on-one. She doesn't really like group things. I think because I do love group things. In fact, I'd prefer to just hang out with all my friends on one day, like whenever. I just would prefer to do so, but I think she likes to be able to kind of like share her feelings and emotions and all of that in a safe space, which I'm a safe space, and so you can't really consider the other people to be safe spaces unless she considered them to be safe spaces, and unless they were really good friends to her. So I understand that, but yeah, I would be okay with anytime I hang out with my friends, hanging out with multiples of them at once, because then I can hang out with them more. There's only so much time I have to schedule to dedicate to friends and family and stuff like that. So I would be okay with it, but I do have one schedule, and I have 2 friends here in this area, and we are going to celebrate my birthday because coincidentally, my 2 friends that I have here, they might not be able to make it to my birthday party, or they might be able to drop in for a short while. So essentially, we've invited all of our other loved ones to our birthday party, and assuming that they all show up, basically I'll be able to see all my people in the month of September. So I technically have 1 friend date scheduled already. I put finalize the cousins trip, and technically the planning process is finished, but we do have to pay the second part of our deposit in September. So that's what we need to do for the Airbnb. And then I want to catch up with a friend, which I have on here, which if my friends come, if however many friends are coming for the birthday party, then I'll get to catch up with them then. And then I want to actually limit my social plans, because I've kind of been going ham with the social plans. I think people have gotten really used to that, but to be honest, in September, And even moving forward, I actually plan to kind of scale it back a wee bit because I need to get my life together. Like, I'm neglecting things. It's a mess. So I just need to take some time to get my life together and then proceed with social plans. For career, I want to do all the stuff I always want to do. For business, I want to secure 1 sponsorship, publish 8 YouTube videos a month, and 4 Instagram reels, which is what I always want to do. And then health, same thing, work out 3 times per week. Okay, you guys, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys found this video to be helpful. If you did, give this video a like. Subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing. And I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye, guys.